Good morning. Welcome to the Brew. Today on the show, Paulina Likos will take us through the following three topics: Tesla's earning call, Trump or Harris, more than you think. So let's take a good look at that, and rising treasuries and record gold prices. What's going on with that as well? All of this and more after the bell. Right? It's going to go up.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. Great.
Too. Bam. I love that. So there's a guy. So I take this orange theory. You know what that is, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Orange theory. All right. So it's near my house. Gets me out of the house to do a workout once a week, right? I mean, I do more workouts, but that one I do at Orange Theory. And this guy's hilarious. A young guy. And he every time the headbanging music comes on, he is doing his whole little dance in the corner by himself. We're all working out. He doesn't think anyone's looking at him, but I always watch him. He's hilarious.
Yeah, that really pumps you up. These hardcore workout people.
It is. So, Paulina, good to see you again. Another week has gone by. Holy cow! Today's topics, I like all of them, by the way. Not that I don't like them generally, but these are especially good. Tesla's earning call. Let's start there. What do you think?
Yeah, so Tesla, they recently reported their third quarter earnings. They blew analyst forecast out of the water. And this was huge for the company. We saw the stock surge over 20% on the news, and that was the best single day since 2013.
Wow.
So what really drove this was the outlook for 2025. That looked really promising. CEO Elon Musk, he said that vehicle sales are expected to jump by 20 to 30%. So that suggests that potential demand for electric vehicles are there. They're expected to rise. Mm-hmm. Another big notable win for Tesla was their Cybertrucks turning profitable in this quarter. So that showed that, Tesla can launch new products and make money from them really quickly, which is an investor's, dream. That's what they love. So yeah, this earnings report, it was really positive. I would say it also helped restore some of that investor confidence after a bumpy first quarter.
Yep.
And yeah, obviously we saw some declines after that, the first quarter of 2024. So I would say it also reinforces Tesla and its position as an EV leader.
Yep.
So that was a really positive quarter for Tesla.
Yeah, I totally agree. Truth be told, I think I've said this before on the show. I own a Tesla. It is my second one. I've been totally pleased with it. I'm going to ask you a couple questions because I'm looking at the notes. One interesting one about full self-driving. That's a good one. But lower interest rates have to be helping. That's a good one for Tesla. That's definitely happy. What do you think about the sustainability of this type of a quarter? I mean, this is a blowout, sort of, right? Do we see this into the future? And my other point here, before I'll shut up, is that they have the gorilla position in the market, in the EV market. They're the first to market. They're the biggest of the best name. I know other entrants are there. It seems like they've got everything just cranking for them, doesn't it?
This quarter really did reinforce its leadership in the EV market globally. Obviously, as you said, there's a lot of competition, especially from Chinese EV makers who have successfully and adeptly been able to, generate a strong profit, not only within China, but also within Europe, across Europe as well. Mm-hmm. So as, talking about the sustainability of Tesla's profitability, I think that with the Cybertruck's profitability and overall strong earnings, it's going to be sustainable. Okay. However, long-term sustainability does depend on the company balancing price cuts with the production efficiency and cost reductions as well. It costs a lot of money to produce these EVs. There's no doubt about that. Tesla has been able to strike that balance in the past. And I also think that, when we think of Tesla, we think of innovation, right? And they're able to innovate, but also scale that innovation really successfully. So I think that this is pretty sustainable.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you. All those points I agree with. I think the other interesting thing is that, and you brought it up as well, they've lowered prices on all their vehicles. Maybe not the Cybertruck so much, a little bit, but not like the Model 3, the Y, even the S and the Plaid version of that, and the X. They brought those prices down tremendously. I went and built a Model 3 just to stick the other day. The performance version, which is their souped up one. I mean, I did a lease. It was like $500 a month with $1,700 down for a 3-year lease. I mean, that's like getting into economy land almost.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah, that would obviously help with their margins, help maintain their margins, maybe even grow them in the future if they're able to reduce costs. So there's a lot of good things going for Tesla, which is a whole change in sentiment from the beginning of the year and the end of last year, as we've been talking about demand for EVs being pretty lukewarm. But this shows that maybe there's some life in that demand.
At least for one brand, at least for the Tesla brand, I guess.
At least for Tesla.
It's amazing. What about the full self-driving? So Elon called me up. He says, Lex, I need you to try the full self-driving. He gave it to me over the airwaves. I did it. It scares the living bejesus out of me, I got to tell you, especially when I've got to make from the neighborhood a left turn into traffic.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, right? Rush hour, the car inches up, and I'm like this, scared to death. I got my hands on the wheel and my foot over the brake, and I'm doing one of these, and I'm like, is it going to go now? And it kind of inches a little bit. And then when it sees its opportunity, it goes. No thinking twice. It just goes. And it's quite amazing. It really is. Have you ever done it?
So I actually thought I was going to buy a Tesla, and I tried it. I tried the full self-driving, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
I was in an intersection, and I was like, the car was like, okay, you can go. And then all of a sudden, the car just went by itself. It was pretty incredible.
It is.
But yeah, the nerves, I had nerves for the first time driving.
Oh, I would say so too. What's great about it though, I don't know if I can ever get here, but he's tried to get the Model Y as a driverless taxi. Those are my words, but that just came out, where it will not have a steering wheel. It will not have pedals. You basically get in this thing and you sit in the back seat, and it's like an Uber car with no one in it. That would, I think, make me scared. Yeah. Would it make you scared too?
I think it would make me scared. However, we did talk about this last week or a couple weeks ago. Google, they have their Waymo, their self-driving robo-taxi, and that's actually operational in a few states. And it seems to be having good response from riders.
Love the idea.
Yeah, it's expanding, but yeah, and to your point, Tesla, they have a goal of launching a public robo-taxi next year in 2025. But that could be subject to some regulatory approval as it relates to the safety concerns. So I think that once there's buy-in from people as they start to roll out in some states, like we've saw with Waymo, it could become a reality as early as 2025 for Tesla.
I love it. I love it. Very cool. All right. Let's move along to topic number 2. So the odds of either a Trump or a Harris presidential win. So we're not going to pick our candidates here because I know people would love. I'm guessing people kind of sense that I'm probably a little more conservative than not. I'm guessing. Just a guess. But we're not going to go there. We're talking about the odds of a Trump or Harris win. And I know where you're going with this because I look at these odds all the time because I'm kind of a gambler. So it's the betting markets.
Yes.
And overwhelmingly, all these betting markets are huge in favor of a Trump victory over Harris right now. Okay. And I guess my thing to you or my question to you is, how reliable have they been? Pretty good in the past, because I know they've been around for a couple cycles now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So here's a quick snapshot, and then I can answer that question. So of the Harris versus Trump race, everybody is really interested in this because it's going to have a ripple effect into the economy, into the markets, into different sectors, and so forth. So people are measuring this through recent polling and betting data. So in the national polls, Harris holds a little over 1% lead over Trump in the popular vote. But looking at some simulations by this one firm called 538, they say that Trump has a slight edge of winning 53 out of 100 times. So the betting odds are currently in favor of Trump. And then you look at this other firm called Star Sports.
Yep.
They have odds of giving him a 60% implied chance of winning, while Harris has a 42% chance.
Yep.
So that's what the markets say. Obviously, we can't know for sure, but this gives kind of like an idea of betting, because when you think about betting, people are actually putting their money on this, right? So I feel like that's a little bit more reliable than the polls we see on the news, right?
Yep.
So, but to your point, there is some discrepancy between the betting markets and polling data, because betting markets, they're influenced by sentiment and perception. They don't have that raw hard data, right?
Right.
There could be some underestimation of Trump support or Harris support. So there is some discrepancy in these betting markets.
Yeah, I could see that. However, I would argue, I think, that it seems like the betting line, just intuitively to me, would be a better barometer of how this is going. Not only because, but partially because, look at there's some. I'm sure it's on both sides, Harris and Trump voters, who, when they get the phone call, who you're going to vote for, they're not going to answer it. They're not going to pick up their phone. They're just not going to do it. So I'd be more interested in how reliable the polling data is for the true traditional polls, because that one year in 2016, no one saw Trump winning that at all. Yeah. That was a shocker. And the pollsters were all like, what the heck did we miss? So that's why I like to I like looking at the betting odds ones, because people are really putting real money down on these. And I totally get what you said. There can be a little discrepancy. I think someone bet $28 million on a Trump win on these in these betting polls. So, that's going to make them move their market for sure. Right. That's what these polling people do. And they're really genius on this stuff. That's why I like it better. Now, am I saying that it's an absolute? No, but I like that. Where the real money talks way better than a pollster. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I've been talking to some friends about this too, and they've echoed that. They've said, a lot of people are looking at those. Like I was walking by Times Square, and they have the betting. They have a screen of the betting.
Outside.
Yeah, I forget. It's called like Polarity or Polaris or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like it shows the betting markets of Trump versus Harris in real time, and people are using that to kind of gauge where the candidates are in their race. So
no, I think it's interesting. I've been watching it. I've got a let's call him a more of a liberal friend who's one of my old partners, and when Harris was ahead in the betting pools, he threw that out. That was his big deal. This was a long time ago. And she in the betting pool, she was definitely ahead. And then it's totally flipped. I haven't heard a word about it since it's flipped. He hasn't brought it up to me since that's happened. So it's kind of funny. Anyhow, well, that's good. That's interesting. I want to see how that plays out. Okay. Lastly, rising treasury yields and record gold prices. What do we got going here?
So obviously the 10-year is a very important benchmark for so many different sectors. I would say particularly for the real estate sector and when you're assessing the health of consumers. So treasury yields and gold prices, they've been on the rise lately. Each are driven by a mix of different factors. So the treasury yield, especially the 10-year, That jumped to 425. That's as high as we've seen it since July. And that's because we've been seeing some strong economic data that suggesting that the economy is pretty resilient. And that could potentially, why is this important? It's important because it could shift the expectations around how the Fed's going to approach monetary policy. So investors, they could be less confident that the Fed is going to cut aggressively like it did last time with a 50 basis point cut. So that's why that's important. And then you have gold prices. They've reached their record highs, closing above $2,700 per ounce recently.
I just saw that.
That's pretty incredible because, we see gold as a safe haven, and there is a lot of, geopolitical uncertainty, economic uncertainty going on. So gold is pretty much doing its job here. So yeah, there's been, I guess, some inflows into this safe haven asset. A lot of demand from gold recently. A lot of that has been driven by central bank buying. I know we talked about that in the past before, but that's persistent. In particular, the Chinese central bank, but also others around the world too.
Yeah. So expectations for treasuries. I mean, we're going to get another rate cut probably, or are they going to kind of hold pat here? I forget what they were saying, the FOMC.
Yeah, I think there is an expectation for cuts in the future. I don't think we're going to see that aggressive 50 basis point cut or anything like that, like we did in the past. But the magnitude of potential Fed rate cuts, I think investors might reset their expectations there. And I think that's why we're seeing treasury yields rising.
By the way, folks, this is not financial advice. But do you feel that we're seeing some toppiness in the gold market or not so much yet?
So I think it could potentially go higher because you have a lot of tension with in the Middle East. You have that conflict between, obviously Israel and Hamas, but then you have Iran in the picture. Is Israel going to strike their oil fields? That's going to be that would be a huge, it would have a ripple effect in the energy markets, the price of oil, and how would that impact the broader economy and so forth. So a lot of uncertainty there. That leads me to say that could push the price for gold higher. And then inflation hasn't gone away. Obviously, we're not talking about it as much as we did a year or two ago, but still an issue, and actually is going to be impacting how consumers are going to be spending for the holiday season. So yeah, that's another reason why gold could go higher.
Okay. I wonder if it reaches 3,000. That's got a little ways to go, but that would be something else.
I will say this: every time Costco sells gold, they sell out like so fast.
Wait, I didn't even know they did that. They sell gold?
They sell gold bars, and I'm telling you, they go. Yeah, I think the gold bars. Don't quote me on that, but it's the physical bullion gold, and they're just sold out. I think like within days.
That's unbelievable. I've never seen one at my Costco. I go to Costco all the time.
I think they might have it at select Costco's, but if you haven't seen it, they might sell it at your Costco. But I'm telling you, like they might just be sold out.
Wow,
that's why you haven't seen them.
Okay, all right. Do you have gold in the portfolio? I don't have any gold in the portfolio. I know that. I don't know why. I don't do my own portfolio, but I
don't have gold either. I don't know. I feel like it's a generational thing. A lot of maybe older investors like gold. Maybe younger investors might prefer Bitcoin as like the new age of gold.
Yeah, I get it.
But I absolutely see the merits of investing gold. I just really haven't thought about my strategy around gold investing, but I should do that for sure.
Yep, for sure. Okay, good deal. Well, these were great. Good topics today. Love it. We will stay on top of these. I'm going to be in the market for another car soon too. Well, not soon. 6 months. I think I might get another Tesla.
Yeah.
I had the Cybertruck queued up. I'm like, can I really drive around in that all the time? It's so
seeing...
dumb looking. I'm like, oh my God. But it's so dumb. It's cool. That's what I think.
Listen, I break my back every time I see a Cybertruck. I always look at it.
Right?
I think it looks pretty cool.
It's cool. It's big though. I can't imagine driving that around New York City and trying to park it.
That's true.
No bueno. Same with Chicago. That would not be fun. But
good point.
One of those cars out in the country, out in the burbs, you kind of do well with it. So yeah, cool. All right, good, Paulina. Great to see you. Have a great weekend. Pretty soon we'll be doing these shows in our hats and earmuffs and gloves.
I know,
because winter is coming. We can't avoid it. I know we can't, but
unfortunately, yeah.
All right. Good to see you. Have a great weekend, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right, Paulina.
Bye.
Bye.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.